Okay, let's try this again. I just did the whole video for nothing. There was a sound glitch. You can see me talking, but you couldn't hear me saying nothing. This is, and I don't do this kind of stuff, but it surprises me how many people haven't watched The Walking Dead, like preppers and stuff. Um, oh, I don't want to see the gore and the then stop prepping, because there's going to be guts and there's going to be killing and there's going to be everything else, and the kind of stuff that we're prepping for. Well, you know, other than your average tornado or drought or bout of unemployment or whatever, but like a major deal or whatever, I think it might pay to be a little desensitized. Um, I mean, you don't have to eat zombie popsicles or whatever, but I strongly suggest you give it a look. Uh, there's a lot to be gleaned about SHTF from The Walking Dead. I mean, the whole show, all 7 seasons of it, is about SHTF. Nothing else. I mean, there's no grocery stores, there's no fuel, there's no electricity, blah, blah, blah. Even when they get to a point where there's electricity again, then you got people trying to kill you and take your stuff away all the time. It's it takes a really close look at humanity, at the human animal. I mean, you can watch all the original group, which at the end there's not many of them left. Um, count, not many. There's some that we don't know anything about because they take off, they part ways. But yeah, it's very educational, or I think it is. Just the way Glenn changes from uh, season 1 to season 5 is crazy. Um, the things to be gleaned about who you do and don't want around in case of the apocalypse. There's a lot of stuff in there. And some of that's going to depend on what side of the fence you're on about it. Who's the, you know, there's a lot of people that think some people shouldn't have gone. There's a lot of people I would have shot right off the bat. Sorry. Uh, there's some people would have been made zombie food then. Um, in a situation, it would have to be something like that. You know what I'm saying? If it was global, there's just certain people you don't want in the gene pool anymore. Um, so that's just me. I have a bit of a reputation in my family and amongst my friends as being cold-hearted. I don't think it's all that well deserved. I like kittens and puppies and baby ducks and stuff. I like love songs and grandkids and babies. Not that hard. But if all you're gonna do is argue about everything we gotta get done and bitch about this and bitch about that and la da 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 da, you might make it to day 3. Don't expect to see day 4. I'm just saying. We'll work out real good. That's later on in the episodes. Um, just yeah, I mean, when there's people that aren't being a benefit, then you don't keep them around. Or when people are actually being a detriment, you don't keep them around. And The Walking Dead deals with that. Is it cool to give them a second chance? Or not? You know what I mean? Do you handle it and just handle it? Or do you just say, well, we're not going to deal with this and make it somebody else's problem? That's one of the big dilemmas they face. Now, they deal with different ways of bringing people in and finding out whether or not they're worth having around, and you know, basically trusting other groups and stuff like that. It's good. It's a good thing. Even if you're not into zombies and stuff like that, the way the show's written, it's pretty good stuff. It amazes me though that it's all the people that become the the core group, the go-to people, were all the people on the fringe of society's norm. Uh, you get the pizza delivery guy. You got the deputy who's just about fed up with the way things are going in his world. You got country vet that, you know, could have made out pretty good, but decided to be anywhere but where the money was. You got physically and emotionally, psychologically abused wife becomes a big player in the game. You've got psychologically and physically abused young man that becomes a huge player in the game. It's preacher's daughter. She becomes a big player in the game. It's weird that all the people that the show revolves around are all people that aren't, it's not the football player or the banker or, the real estate agent or, the gun salesman or whatever. It's matter of fact, they hadn't run into a single prepper yet. Not on one. So, I guess they're all down in their bunkers waiting it out. The I don't think it's going to be anything like that. I don't buy into the zombie apocalypse, but I do think it's worth watching the whole series. I've watched it several times, um, because you pick up things when you go through it the second time, knowing where the script was going, and then going back and watching it, you pick up the facial expressions and stuff that you missed the first time, and that educates your brain. It does. That educates your brain on facial expressions, and that's important. When somebody's talking to you, you need to be able to see what they're saying. When somebody's not talking to you, you need to know what they're thinking. When somebody's talking to somebody else, you need to know what they're thinking when they're saying what they're saying. You need to do. The Book of Eli and the Road are pretty good watches too. Um, I would avoid the new Mad Max movie because it's stupid. Um, there's a few of them out there. I just watched one called The Survivalist. Made it for 7 years. And then that was the end of that. You just never know what you're going to learn off the TV show. I mean, you could watch Orange is the New Black or whatever. That ought to teach you something. Or Life with Leo. That ought to educate you some. Like Curious George. That ought to help you out. You can watch Trolls and then realize that preppers are complete idiots. But actually, there's a big prepper thing in the Trolls. That movie, The Trolls. Don't ever take somebody who hasn't agreed to keep their mouth shut and isn't on board with you in your bunker being kept secret in your bunker. Didn't go so good. Yeah. This one's way shorter than the other one was. I'm going to leave it like that. Don't. The other one I talked about all the different things you could possibly learn. Just watch it as an educational thing, not so much as an entertainment thing. And you can pick up a lot of stuff like the different kinds of people you could run into, the different kinds of situations you could run into. If you treat a situation this way, is this going to happen or that going to happen? You got the hotheads doing the stuff they want to do, and it causes trouble over here, and you got this vengeance thing going on over there, causing all this trouble over here, and nearly getting everybody dead. It's quite educational. Mm. Yeah. Give it a look from educational standpoint. I am again. Learned something today that I missed in the first one. Well, the first two times I watched it, I missed it, and I caught it today. It was a look. I misconstrued that look every time I watched it before. I just took it for disdain both two times. And this time I realized it wasn't disdain. It was detachment. Or what do you call it when you accept? It's like, yeah, that's the way it's always been. Anyway, y'all have a good